Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm in a coffee house, and now that I'm somewhat awake, I'd like you to share in this fascinating culture. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the Beatles.
I love coffee.
What would you rather have, a cup of coffee or this handsome-looking professional senior golfer right here?
Oh, gee. That's very difficult. Coffee.
I know you guys quit pot, now you're into caffeine?
True.
Coffee honor?
Coffee honor.
This is the best part of the ride, the social event, come and get a cup of coffee with the boys, yeah.
Most of the film we've been interviewing just normal everyday people.
Well, besides the fact that it's a nice drink, it's also a great social excuse for people to get together.
Now you guys come here instead of going to a bar.
I'd say yeah. Yeah. And why? Why? Because I got kids, so I don't drink anymore. And I can do this in the morning.
Yeah, I wanted to create a space that I could go to, that I would enjoy, where I could have great coffee and conversation. And what I found, and it's really been a phenomena much beyond what I ever anticipated, was that it became a community gathering place.
Why do you come here, and what does it feel like to be a part of this culture?
Great coffee, great people watching, great being in the middle of a town.
How do you see coffee culture today in the United States versus coffee culture in Europe in the 1600s?
Coffee houses in Europe at the time were places where merchants met. Business deals were struck. It was the office.
We're in the middle of a real estate transaction.
An office is a very sterile environment to do that.
What are you doing this morning?
I'm on my way to work.
Okay. I've noticed that you've been on your way to work for about a half hour.
That's usually the time I spend here. I eat my breakfast here, I drink my coffee here, and then I go to work.
And then, like, you guys just sit here all day and then at night have beer?
No, not all day.
And I run into quite a few people, some of the moguls of Silicon Valley.
You know, they'll talk politics and they'll talk art and they'll talk sports and have their cup of coffee.
Well, I think the area in general, Silicon Valley, I know a number of people here, if they're not engineers, they're medical doctors, lawyers, an outstanding number of professors. Many of the people with whom I engage in just regular dialogue here have PhDs in quantitative fields or engineering fields. I find that quite fascinating.
Today I'm taking the day off to work on the house,
So you get a lot of work done sitting here at the coffee shop reading the paper?
No, actually I don't spend much time here usually. I just usually glance at the paper, eat the pastry, and take the coffee to go.
So I've been roasting here since summer of '84. So a little over 22 years I've been working with Terry.
We believe it used to be called kawa.
Sugar's caramelized, and that's why you get a wide range of brown colors in coffee.
The English call it coffee.
It's all done just by sight, by sound, by look now. Just like you cook a steak on the grill.
So around the Mediterranean area, it's still called cafe.
I want to note that we're part of the Flying Yahoos.
The Flying Yahoo. What's a Flying Yahoo?
It's a men's group that we have formed, and we meet here every Friday from 10 to 11:30.
No, it's nice. It's like a second family, a little home away from home. And
Len, how long have you been working here?
About 6.5 years.
Something happened to you. I know you had an injury.
Well, on December the 15th of 2004, the day after my 31st wedding anniversary, I tripped over one of our cats out in front of the house, fell backwards, hit the back of my head on a brick planter. Had 12 fractures throughout my skull, including fractures in my right eardrum and a small fracture in my left eardrum.
It spread through Europe like wildfire. And what did it mean to Europe? Because in the Middle Ages, they were all drunks.
What they would do was, they would have, for breakfast, they would have beer. And they would have beer all day. That's how they had to hydrate themselves. So they were pretty much in this drunken haze most of the time.
When is the last time you met a guy in the coffee shop that you thought was like as cool as me?
I've never met anybody as cool as you. Would you like to be a server in the nude? Just wearing a little apron?
Why don't we switch chairs?
Are you guys having an affair?
You might say that.
The New York Stock Exchange was founded in a coffee house in 1816.
I wanted to confirm very quickly my initial suspicion with respect to Lloyd's of London having started in a coffee shop, and I just looked it up on my phone, Wikipedia, and in fact, yeah, Lloyd was actually the proprietor of a coffee house, hence the term Lloyd's of London.
Coffee is a miracle drink.
Would you consider yourself a complete coffee addict?
Yes.
I mean, people come to fuel up in the morning, get a little caffeine in their system, get their motors running, but
if I'm off coffee, I'm not feeling well.
I would not consider myself an addict because I can stop myself at any time.
He's a coffee addict.
Yeah, I guess so.
When's the last time you went a day without having a cup of coffee?
Probably 10 years ago.
Shot or two of espresso every hour, so it keeps me going, keeps me on my toes. Very important.
No days without coffee.
Okay.
Days don't start without coffee.
It makes me feel comfortable.
Tomorrow morning you woke up and on the entire planet there was no coffee or caffeine for a day.
Maybe I'd have withdrawals.
Well, I'm not talking about your heroin habit. When's the last time you went a day without having coffee?
Last time I traveled, which was a nightmare.
It's not a world I could cope with.
About a week or so after that, some of my colleagues from the coffee shop here came by the house and brought a bunch of cards that customers had left for me and an envelope about that thick full of about $4,000 cash that customers had put into a pot. And I started crying. And my wife was standing next to me, and I turned to her and I said, you know, I don't know what I do to deserve this. And she says, well, you keep doing it because those people deserve it.
But I'm very proud, very, very proud to have a part pioneering this wonderful new part of our culture here.
There's a tremendous need for community, and men especially. So part of this is building community and setting an example for other men.
Where everybody gets together and you want to know their name or you don't know their name, well, this is it.
I'm at the point now where I'm kind of slowing down a bit.
Need a glass of wine.
Yeah. You got both wine and coffee here.
If coffee as a drink wasn't introduced to Europe, it'd be fair to say that civilization as we know it today would not exist.